Hello, I'm just going to chit chat with you just a minute. My husband's went back to the hay field. I told everybody he's run away with his tractor. So I'm here in the house alone by myself. That doesn't happen very often with us because we work together on the farm. So we're always together, always doing things together and chit chatting with each other. But you know what? I may go ride around in the tractor around the hay meadow with him in a little while. We'll see, unless I get started with some of my other stuff. But I'm going to talk to you just a minute about what I'm working on. And I'm going to read you something. I kind of hung on to this for a few years. And I'll read it and then I'll tell you about my projects. You are not everyone's cup of tea. Now I'm referring to myself here, all right? The world is filled with people who, no matter what you do, no matter what you try, will simply not like you. But the world is also filled with those who will love you fiercely. The ones who love you, they are your people. Don't waste your finite time and heart trying to convince the people who aren't your people that you have value. They will miss it completely. They won't buy what you're selling. Don't try to convince them to walk your path with you, because you will only waste your time and your emotional good health. You are not for them and they are not for you. You are not their cup of tea and they are not yours. Politely wave them along and you move away as well. Seek to share your path with those who recognize and appreciate your gifts, who you are. Be who you are. You are not everyone's cup of tea, and that's okay. I'm not everyone's cup of tea, and that's okay. But if you like to come and chat with me and talk to me, you're my tribe. You're my people. I'm going to show you now. I got this all sewed together this morning. Actually, this morning I finished sewing this together. So this one's all done. This was the pattern I followed called Goodnight Irene. And it's all made, ready to be quilted. If you're a quilter, you're my people. And if you cook, you're my people. If you're a Christian and loving person, you're my people. But anyway, I just want to show you I got that one. And I finished something else this morning too. Now, I've showed you this before, but I got all the binding all sewed down. And that one's done. So, two steps is done on some of these. But, you know me, I went to the fabric store yesterday. And I had this layer cake for quite some time, because I bought it at my local fabric shop 6 months ago or so. And I'd like to, let's just pull that off. We'll just look at some of these pieces. And what's Through the Garden Gates, what it's called. And these are that one was pretty. Look at that one. See some of the colors in there? Pretty. That pretty blue. So I'm going to make something out of this. This is my next project. I may even start it here within the next hour or two. But I've got that. Let me show you what I'm going to make with it. This is a block magazine. I think it's 2018. Oh, the fabric is Kate's Garden Gate by Betsy Chutchain. I may not be saying that right, but that's the fabric line. And what I'm going to make is, well, she's calling it spring rain, but I'm going to make, it's like a churn dash. I'm going to make that churn dash quilt out of this fabric. Let me show you. Oh, I've got this piece to go with it. And this is the binding and a little bit of extra. I've got the cornerstones. You see those? I've got the border. This is going to be my border. What is? I had another one. This is going to be some extra for the blocks. Look at those pretty roses. And this, when I get it all sewed together, is my backing. So I've already bought my backing. So that's my next project. But I was in the store, and Brenda, she runs that little my little local fabric shop, owns it and runs it, and she knows me pretty well, because while I was there, she said, "Have you seen this?" And I said, "No, what is it?" So she showed me something, and I had to have it. Had to go back later, and not later, but she'd already cut all this other, and then I had to get this one. And this is just a little quilt panel. Let me show you. And you see that? That's just as cute as it can be, the little barn and the little tractor. So I'm going to quilt that up for one of the grandbabies. Just as cute as it can be. Because I got that, so then I had to have something to go on the back of it, of course. So what goes on the back? Look what I'm putting on the back. Can you see them, little horsies? There's a little spotted cow and a little pink piggy. So that's going to go on the back. And then I know I'm going to do that. So then if you do that, you have to have, I lost the piece. You have to have binding. So here we go. Here's the binding for that little quilt. I'll hold it up there. Can you see it? It's got little tractors on it. So I've got 2 new projects. Oh, and I've still got to finish that red, white, and blue Mother's Choice. Anyway, I've got a lot to do. What are you guys working on? You have lots of projects too? And I may take one of these over to Mama's and work on it. And I don't quilt on my sewing machine, but I wonder if I ought to take this little baby quilt and quilt it on my sewing machine, since it's not very big, instead of the quilt machine. Just so much to do, so much to do. But I enjoy it. Keeps me out of trouble. If I can afford my bill at the quilt house where I buy my fabric. I love y'all. I hope I'm your cup of tea, because if you come and listen to me, y'all are my cup of tea. Working my garden, hanging with my chickens. Gonna have to get me another cup with the sewing theme, maybe about the peacemakers. Blessed are the quilt makers, the quilters, for they shall be called the peacemakers. Oh, and I heard a joke the other day. I'm going to tell you this joke right quick before I go. Do you know what the quilt said when it fell off the bed? Oh, sheet. All right, I got to go. I love y'all.